Hello, I'm Mary Hughes. I write steamy, wickedly fun, urban fantasy and romance. This is Biting Christmas, Abridged. Nixie and Julian slide into a hot tub honeymoon, but things turn nasty when Santa Vamp and Mrs. Claus show up. This story has been edited for streaming to tone down the intimate scenes. However, the bedroom door is not closed, but ajar. Listen at your own discretion. Biting Christmas Abridged, Part 2. Nixie and Julian celebrate their first night together as a married couple. Adult situations. Listen at your own discretion. I slid one knee over Julian, straddling him. Let's not talk about Mom or pixies, okay? Shall we discuss this? He pressed our bodies together. I never tired of the feel of him. This would be our first time in over a month. It would feel like brand new. Oh yeah, discuss away. I rolled against him. He nuzzled my neck, all sharp teeth and hot tongue. His big hand ran down my spine, hit the sweet spot at the base, making my whole spine sing with need. Oh, this was going to be so good. I centered myself over him and wriggled until he was in place. He opened his mouth against my neck. 3, 2, 1. With the finesse of a jazz clarinet spiraling up a long, slow glissando, we became one. I clutched his shoulders and jerked my head back, less an invitation to bite than a command. He chuckled. Not yet. We have all night. He teased me with a drag of sharp fangs along my throat. The fecker. We have all night, every night, for the rest of our lives, but there will be hell to pay if I have to wait that long. I grabbed his dark head with both hands and, anticipating sharp bliss, pulled. Nothing happened beyond a gentle circling of fangs on my skin. The man has an insanely strong neck. Nixie, I'm trying to give you a little romance on our wedding night. Romance? We've had 6 solid weeks of the 24-hour romance channel. Bite, damn you! Instead, he raised his head from my neck. That's not a real channel, is it? I groaned. My poor medieval suit guy. Come on, Julian, get to the good part. A light entered his eye, as if he'd taken it as a challenge. The good part, Oh yeah, I was in trouble now. No, wait! He dived underwater. The man's middle name was Suction. I clutched the sides of the tub, but as my muscles grew soft and yielding, I lost my grip, and I threaded fingers into his black hair. It was romance at its most primitive, and it made me howl. I was clutching and whimpering when he finally surfaced and grabbed my mouth in a kiss every bit as primal and hot. He pressed me back into the lip of the tub and kissed me with lots of tongue and teeth. Under this lawyer's 3-piece suit was a savage animal, and I loved it. I loved it so much, I taunted the beast with a long, hot lick to one fang. He roared, kissing me hard, then kissing me fully, driving me against the wall of the tub, raising waves of water that sloshed over the edge. I grabbed the lip and leaned back to enjoy the sight of him, his hard rolling abs crunching and extending. Closing my eyes, I raised my chin, stretching out my throat like spreading a banquet table. His breath was suddenly rolling over the skin of my neck. I was poised at the edge, but it occurred to me to wonder and maybe worry about what I'd unleashed. I lived life at the edge and past it, but vampires are a whole dimension beyond. I slit eyes. His gaze was riveted on my pulse, which was fluttering frantically now. I tried to swallow. Is something wrong? I love you. His breath was hot on my neck, and he lisped it slightly, sure indication that his fangs were huge, filling his mouth. I love you too, but is something wrong? Yes. No. We're going to make a baby. The thought of him and me becoming an us sent me over the edge. Even without a bite, fireworks boomed in my skull and my pleasure released. He roared again and sank the tips of his fangs into my throat. Pure lightning lit my veins. I screamed. Fireworks became explosions of color and light and sound rocketing through me. He howled his pleasure. The purity of it, the sheer bliss, overwhelmed me. My world became a field of white. Noises softened to a hum. Gradually the white dimmed, and the ring subsided to a quiet hiss with lub-dub accents of a hammering heart. Julian's arms were wrapped around me, his tongue loving my throat. My beating heart slowed enough that I could hear him swallow between licks. Eventually I lazed back. My eyes opened. That was amazing. After some time, he pressed his tongue against my neck to seal the bite. Eventually, he released me, turned in the tub to retrieve our champagne glasses, and handed me one. I clinked my flute to his. A toast to the first night of the rest of our lives. To the rest of this night. His eyes nailed mine, blue irises banding wide pupils, red flames dancing in them. To taking you every way known to man or vampire and more. Hoo-ha! I drank. After a toast like that, with the image of the full honeymoon treatment, I needed the cooling. I set my glass down and reached for him. Good. Great. Round two? He smiled, his eyes heating again to that sexy violet. He reached for me. Certainly. Help! Someone, please, help! Stabbed me with mistletoe. It was my honeymoon, so of fricking course someone needed rescuing. I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of Biting Christmas, written by Mary Hughes, copyright 2008-2016. Join me soon for part 3. Thanks for listening.